Marty Supreme. I made a video a few months back talking about the insane run Timothee Chalamet has been on in the past few years, and I stand by that completely. Performance after performance, he only seems to be getting better, and after I was sure he was going to go home with the Oscar for his role as Bob Dylan in A Complete Unknown, he didn't get it. I'm here to say now, Best Actor is his this year, and I really don't think anyone will stand in his way. Marty Supreme is without a doubt the best work he's ever done. Not only that, it's quite possibly the best Safdie movie to date. Obviously, at this point, the brothers have split up to go work on their own projects, and between the two that have come out this year, this one definitely feels more in line with
Uncut Gems.
Right.
From the beginning, it hits the ground running and is overflowing with the same chaos and anxiety-inducing energy that they delivered with Uncut Gems. Coming in at 2.5 hours, I never once had the urge to check the time. It was as if time simply didn't exist. It felt an hour long, and I mean that in the best way possible, because by the time it was over, I just wanted more. There's something so infectious about watching someone go through hell and back to achieve greatness, and I was just constantly invested in seeing how Marty was gonna get to where he wanted to be. Now, it's also very easy to make plenty of arguments against Marty as a character because he's not necessarily a great guy. He's a douchebag, he's entirely self-absorbed, a perpetual liar, con man, and consistently makes every wrong decision. But yet, he's somehow very likable. You hate what he's doing, but in the same breath, he's clearly someone who has an unwavering belief in himself and what he's capable of. He will stop at absolutely nothing to get where he wants to be, no matter the time, money, relationships, or dogs he has to sacrifice to get it. We see his character constantly gain ground only to immediately lose it, and yet you never stop wanting to see him figure it out. And that's very magnetic, something about a character that comes from practically nothing, moving with more charisma and cockiness than all the prolific and high-profile people he surrounds himself with. It's easy to make the observation that he's chasing something bigger than himself and who he wants to be, but you could also make the argument that he's actually just running from who he really is. There are clear rejections of establishing any sort of backstory or origin of this character, and even when he's asked directly, he either makes something up entirely or simply speaks on who he will be in the future. And that's great, because the past doesn't matter and clearly hasn't held him back, so why should we need to focus on that? Either way, I'll always have a soft spot for the movies that center around characters aspiring for greatness. Some of my favorite movies of all time are those about people willing to risk everything to reach their goals. And I think that's one reason I'd give the edge to this movie over Uncut Gems, because at least here we're following a character who is great at something and knows he's great and won't stop until he proves it. It's hard to describe exactly how this movie made me feel while watching, but in the simplest form, I felt everything all at once. Anxiousness, frustration, hope, excitement. A lot of that is due to just how well this movie is structured and executed. It runs the risk of being repetitive, as for almost the entire movie we're watching the same sequences repeat itself. Marty has a big win, only to take 3 steps back. He gains momentum, only to fall flat on his face and have to start from ground zero again. But it never became a problem, because it held the same amount of momentum from beginning to end. I also feel pretty confident that I could recall this entire movie in chronological order of events, and that's saying something because that rarely ever happens. Usually with watching so many new movies every year, even my favorites, after time passes, I typically only remember a few big key sequences and maybe the overall messages, but not necessarily every little detail. But that's a testament to the fact that every single thing that happens matters in this movie and has direct consequences for everything that follows. And it's been talked about plenty at this point, but this movie really does not work at all without Timothee Chalamet. He has to carry the whole movie on his back, and everything rides on whether or not he delivers, and boy, does he deliver. Josh Safdie has said he wrote this part specifically for Chalamet, and that's abundantly obvious. There's no one else I could see playing this role, and I think why so much of it works is because it's clear he injected a lot of his own personal aspirations into his performance. I mean, think about the speech he gave at SAG a year ago.
But the truth is, I'm really in pursuit of greatness. I know people don't usually talk like that, but I want to be one of the greats. I'm inspired by the greats.
He's striving to become the next big movie star. He believes he has it in him. And it's clear through his dedication to his performances, even down to the way he's tapped into the current culture, he's got his finger directly on the pulse of our generation. But while this is Chalamet's movie, he's surrounded by a supporting cast that equally do something to benefit the film. Actors and unconventional actors alike. Kevin O'Leary is surprisingly great here. Again, it feels like the role was written specifically for him because it really feels like he's just playing a more elevated version of himself. Gwyneth Paltrow plays a celebrated actress on the downward slope of her career, trying to hold on to the spotlight and her youth. Tyler, the Creator, plays Marty's friend and partner, including a hustling scheme that contains some of the most off-the-wall sequences in the entire movie. I actually wanted more of him because I found him to be really good and easy to like. He's a favorite artist of mine, so it's exciting to see him branch out and absolutely crush it. But Odessa A'zion is the standout for me. I haven't heard a ton of buzz surrounding her for awards consideration, but she very well may be my pick for Best Supporting Actress of the year. She perfectly inserts herself into the madness of this story, matching Chalamet's energy perfectly, and the moments where the film is focused on her directly, she takes full control and is just so captivating to watch. She's great at getting you to buy into whatever she's doing, whether that's being sincere or absolutely beaten down and struggling or completely emotionally manipulative. That's another thing I think the Safdies do incredibly well with all of their work. They're both extremely good at casting performers, often from the most unexpected places, and they always seem to bring the best out of their actors in everything they do. It's hard to look at Uncut Gems and see the possibility of anyone else playing Howard Ratner other than Adam Sandler, and same goes for practically everyone in Marty Supreme. The movie's also just beautiful to look at. Fast, kinetic editing, gorgeous cinematography, and just the way it's color graded in the 35mm film grain gives it all a very timeless feeling, like this movie could have come out today or 30 years ago. Now, the movie's about a ping pong player, and there are a lot of ping pong sequences in the movie, all done to perfection, both in choreography and camera work. It was very immersive and intense in a way that ranks along some of the best sports movies, in my opinion. But this also isn't just a sports movie, more rather a character study about a very complex guy who happens to play ping pong. It feels like drinking battery acid and driving your car off a bridge only to land on a cloud. Weird way to put it, but I mean that in the best possible way because I simply couldn't get enough of it. Guys, Marty Supreme is one of the best movies of the year, and it's not one you're going to want to miss. It was my most anticipated movie for the second half of the year, and it really surpassed all of my expectations. I really couldn't be more happy with it. So with all that being said, guys, make sure to comment down below. Let me know your thoughts and opinions on this movie. If you've checked it out, if you shared the same opinions of me, if you didn't like it as much as me, just give me all of that down below. Also, tell me, what is your favorite Safdie movie up to this point? And also, throw in there, what is your favorite Timothee Chalamet performance as well? But guys, make sure to leave a like on the video and subscribe if you haven't already. And until next time, dream big. Peace out.